Alright, so this is where we left off in the previous lesson, which is we made the chocolate sauce. Now in this one, this is going to be a relatively shorter video. We basically want to make the sprinkles. So those are the sprinkles. The first thing I want to do is I just want to assign the redshift parameters to this. So select the sprinkles geometry and apply the object parameters to this. And in instancing, keep it to redshift point clouds, okay, because that's what it's supposed to be using. And in point attributes, now right now we don't have anything, but we eventually want color in there. So let's take care of that as well. Okay, so just come in here and we just want random color. So just take a color and set it to random. Okay, you can try random from attribute, but we don't have any attribute, so that's not going to work. So let's keep it to random, that will give you the colors that you want. If you want controllable random colors, then we can do it with a warp. Okay, so we can take a warp. So take an attribute warp and pick up a random node, and in position we're going to put in the point numbers. And this is fine, like one integer input and 1D output is fine. Okay, and then we can take a ramp. So pick up a ramp parameter and connect the output to that, and let's plug that out to the color. Okay, so you'll get this, and then you can choose whatever colors you want. So if you want like only 3 colors, like let's say we want blue and maybe like let's do RGB, so green and, or let's try somewhere over there, and maybe we can pick up an orange as well. So let's pick up an orange. So yeah, so if you want to do like specific colors, you can do it this way, which is also fine. And if you don't want blending to happen, you can keep these colors to constant. Like the interpolation, you can change that to constant. So if you change all of them to constant, so then they will be like hard colors. You won't get any blending between them. So you will get these exact colors. Okay, so this is another way to do it. So then we can come on top, and in point attributes, we can then pick up CD. Okay, so if the attributes don't exist in there, it won't show up in this list. Okay, so it needs to see those attributes. And then let's come to the sprinkle, and we need to assign a material here. So we'll just take a material and let's plug that in. Okay, and then let's come into ShopNet and build a material. So let me just press L so these get organized. Let's take redshift network and we'll call it sprinkles. Yeah, and we'll pick up an RS material as usual and surface. Okay, so come back to ROPNet, and I just want to go back to IPR because this is currently the IPR is off, like the progressive rendering is off. So let's go back to that. Let's come to the sprinkle and pick up the material. So pick up sprinkles. Okay, and then let's just render this. So yeah, let me do a snapshot of that and we'll hit render. Yeah, there you go. So we have our sprinkles in place. Let's do one thing. Let's just draw a region render here so that we can just concentrate on that. And let's come into ShopNet and sprinkle. And yeah, so if we just check whether this is doing fine, and I also want it a little more reflective than it is, so let's just take that a little higher. So yeah, so you get like these nice little speculars on it, maybe a little bit more. So they're just like a little shiny. And then what we want is fairly simple. So just pick up the random colors. Okay, so we can take come to tools, and we want the RS color data. Okay, so let's pick up the color data, and we can just plug that out to diffuse. Like, hold on. So the attribute name should be CD, that we didn't give. Yeah, and just plug that out to diffuse. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so just stop it and re-render it. I was wondering why it's not doing that. So yeah, so just stop the render and restart it, and that's basically it. Okay, so yeah, so if I render it now, I should get some nice, see, you have some nice colorful sprinkles. Now another thing you can do is, if you don't want to set colors at point level, what we can do is, let's stop this, and we can just come in here to the sprinkle, no, not to the sprinkle, to the sprinkles, and let's do a Control C, Control V. Okay, this is just another way to do it, is I can get rid of all of this and we can keep it to linear and just have simple black and white. So you can do this as well. Okay, so if we render it now, then we are back to simple black and white points. So you'll end up getting this. But what we can do is we can then come to the shop net and set up colors there. Okay, so if you want access to colors at material level, then keep the keep the color data to black and white, and then we can just pick up the take a gradient or a ramp. So pick up an RS ramp, we'll plug that, set this to alt, and then we can do the same thing here. So we can just set these to constant, then just set up the colors that we want. So let's keep this the same colors, so let's keep that over there. Yeah, so the advantage of this is that you have access to it at material level itself. Like, you don't need to continuously go into SOP level and then make changes there and then restart the render if it doesn't update it. So this is a perfectly valid way of doing it. Okay, so yeah, let me just set it back. There you go. That's how we do the basic coloring for sprinkles. We could make it a little darker. Let's do one thing. Let's take a color correct. Yeah, let's drop that in the middle. And I just want to lower the gamma so they become darker. Maybe adjust the contrast. Yeah, I think that's better. I think they'd gotten a little too light, so this isn't bad. Okay, so that's basically it. So in the next lesson, we will build the raspberry shader. Okay, and then we'll do the spoon.